you want to leave them like excited to reach out to you, wanting to learn more. This is your chance to attract the right people and obviously repel the wrong ones.
Welcome back to Duo On Air. I'm Abby.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're the ex-agency turned entrepreneurial team that puts the Duo in Duo Collective. Our boutique organic marketing agency specializes in SEO, social media strategy, and branding.
We're an everyday pair of business besties / marketing experts obsessed with helping our community learn more about what it takes to run a business.
Which is why on Duo On Air, we're not holding anything back. We're giving you all the info we know about how to grow your business organically so you can be the confident CEO you were made to be.
And how to navigate life as a small business owner.
Whether it's on your own or with your best friend by your side, so grab your coffee
or your mimosa, we don't judge,
and settle in for a quick value-packed episode of Marketing Tips. Welcome back to the Duo On Air podcast. This is episode number 178, and today we're showing some love to the most underrated corners of your website. Everyone loves to obsess over the homepage, or maybe it's a sales page. Don't get us wrong, they do matter, and we actually have an entire episode on homepage design tips, so tune in to episode 116. If you haven't listened to that one yet, it's really a good one. But there are a few other sneaky little spots on your website that are quietly carrying a lot of weight, and we often totally ignore these pages when we are jumping in and making tweaks and changes. So we want to spend this time giving some love to 3 website pages that you might be neglecting and then giving you a little fix on how to amp them up.
Yes. So prior to this episode, we were kind of just brainstorming what do you see out there often, like when we're, doing research or working with clients or even just like trying to find answers to things in our daily lives. And we noticed that one of the number one pages that is neglected is the contact page. I can't tell you how many times I've landed on a contact page. We're putting in a fence this year and having some trees cut down. We're just having a lot of yard work. So I've been having to reach out to these places and these websites to get quotes. And every website I've gone to for a contact page is literally just their contact form. That's it. That's all that it is. And I'm like, this page can have so much more love. It gets so neglected because people think contact, let's just embed our contact form, have a few questions there for, the inquiry form or whatever. And then that's it.
Most of the time, it's just contact form, embedded contact form, nothing else.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And it's so minimal. So this page can use so much more love. And shockingly, many times, this is the second most viewed page on people's websites, especially if your homepage isn't doing a very good job at attracting them. So now we need to make that final step even easier. So for reasons of getting more content out there, obviously for SEO purposes too. For us after home, SEO on tap and our blogs, contact is the next top page for us. So think of it this way. This page should not just be a form. It's the final impression before someone reaches out to you. The final impression. So you want to leave them excited to reach out to you, wanting to learn more. This is your chance to attract the right people and obviously repel the wrong ones.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a page that not everyone who lands on that page is fully ready yet.
Exactly.
So you might still need to do a subtle bit of convincing to get them 100% there.
Mm-hmm.
So this page should definitely not be overlooked because there probably are a lot of people that come to it and think, oh, I'm not ready yet. I still had a couple more questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you weren't able to answer that for them on that page, they might go to someone else who did.
Mm-hmm. I also find it just really fun to add different things to pages that obviously make sense, that make the page even more robust and tell a little bit more of a story because it is more of a story. It gets them a little bit more excited. It sees that you put a little bit more effort into it rather than just give me your email and your number and your name and I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
That's just so impersonal too,
Mm-hmm.
So ways to amp up your contact page. One of them, first, write a warm, welcoming headline. So welcoming them to that page and to your brand. Because this, again, could be the first page that they land on. You don't know if they've already navigated the rest of your site or know you a little bit more. So if they don't know you and they're coming straight to your contact form, you want to welcome them there. So having this warm, welcoming headline is really important. The second thing is just adding a short note about what to expect. expect. Things like how soon will you reply and get back to them? That's super important because sometimes people, want to know how soon that they'll hear from you, whether it's 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever that might be. That just gives them a good idea that you're going to get back to them within this amount of time. If it happens to be longer than 24 hours, then they know you've at least told them that, so they don't feel like they're getting pushed off or like not thought of. So very important there. What happens after they hit submit? Having like a little thank you message pop up and saying, again, that can be where you put how long it'll be until they hear from you. You can have some fun little playful branding things in there like, thank you so much. We're throwing confetti over here because we're so excited you inquired with us. We can't wait to get back to you. You'll hear from us in 24 hours. Like just something fun, welcoming, and something that they know what to expect for next steps. Another one is including strategic FAQs. This is a page where I absolutely love to bring in FAQs because not only does it help from an SEO perspective, but it can help with answering the questions to the problems that your ideal audience might be having. So if they land on that page and they're maybe not sure if they want to work with you or they still have questions, answering those strategic questions on that page is super important and again allows you to add more meaningful and SEO keyword rich content on that page. It's also answering those questions that they're there for, answering the questions of like why they might want to work with you, or are you the right fit for them? Can you offer them the services that they're in need of? The next one, offer a gentle nudge to browse more in case they aren't ready. So obviously you don't want to lose them. So they're not ready to hit submit on that contact form. They need more answers. They need to dig in more. They need to learn more about your brand, about what you do. So, nudge them to a different part of your website. Your homepage, your about page, your blog. That's where they can find a ton of different content. So really just getting them to stick around on that page if they're not quite ready to convert. And then add a friendly photo or brand elements. Make it feel like a human is on the other side, not just that stale contact form. Fill this out and we'll get back to you. Make them feel like they're invited, like they're actually going to be talking to somebody on the other side of this after they hit that submit form on that contact page. Abby and I have a fun picture of us. We have some fun branded elements. We try to make it a really fun space for people in case that's the first time that they're seeing us. We don't want it to just be this stark, reach out to us, we'll get back to you, thanks. We want it to be storytelling and an experience and something very valuable to our audience.
And there's still a way to do it. Like if your brand's not as fun, bubbly, and bright as ours, there's still a way to do all of this in like a more professional way too. It's all about creating that trust, inviting them in, help, and also looking polished, like looking like a polished brand, like your stuff. People feel confident when they submit that form that you're going to respond to them. Like I can't tell you how many times I've submitted a form and been like, well, I hope that worked. Like
right.
That's not a good feeling.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that because I'm like, wait, did that go through, or do I have to find an email and like go email you now too?
Which I'm even thinking this of our own website. I don't remember the last time I used our own contact form, and that should probably be something that we do regularly.
Probably
like,
quarterly, just checking it.
Yeah, quarterly or at least a couple times a year. Just go check your contact form. Does it still make sense? Like I'm sitting here thinking right now that I don't think website packages is in our dropdown.
Probably.
And we added that as an offering.
Yeah,
so I think there's just
learning.
like we learn with you guys on all of this stuff. There's things that will constantly need to be tweaked and updated, and it's always about like gut checking it from your audience's perspective.
Yes, exactly.
Page number 1, contact page. Just a little insight in my brand too from an SEO perspective. One of the things that I love to focus on for contact pages are location specific keywords, especially if you focus on a location specific audience. So that's kind of your opportunity to be like, hey, here's where I'm located and here's how you can reach me. So if location is a very important thing for your brand and for your business, your contact page can be a really good spot to showcase that. And that might even be adding in a little section on this page about your brick and mortar location. Like, where is it on the map? What does it look like? Parking, like all of that information, it can be really helpful too.
Also, I'm going to slide another little thing in there. This could be a fun place to feature some testimonials as well, because if somebody's on your contact page, they're looking at potentially reaching out to you for a service or something. So having some of that social proof there, or even like for us, like it could be fun to have just even like a snippet of our branding portfolio so they can just get a really quick snippet of what some of our work looks like.
Absolutely. All right. And so I actually was just recently, before we get into page number 2, I feel like I keep thinking of more things. But I was just having a conversation with one of my SEO coaching clients the other day, talking about adding a headline above the form on the contact page, because again, her page was just a form. And she was saying that she didn't want to do it because she didn't want to eliminate any conversion. She didn't want people not to convert because there was too much information there, and so they didn't see the form or they didn't apply. And again, thinking of mobile first. If you have a headline, if you have a subhead, sometimes that form can be pushed a little bit down the page, and that can force them not to see the form and then maybe not convert. So it is something to think about. And if that is something that you're concerned about, well, one, test it. Test it. That's what marketing is. Mm-hmm. Marketing is test and learning constantly. So see if it works for your business. See if it changes the ratios of your referrals if you added a headline or one thing above the contact form. Otherwise, you can add the stuff below the form. If they came to that page directly to reach out to you, great, let them do that first. If they're not ready yet, they're going to scroll. And then they'll see the rest of your content on the scroll. Mm-hmm. So I get thinking about the conversion side of it first, but there is a way to do both. All right, let's talk about number 2. So number 2 is the About page. So if you can guess what our next top visited page is after our contact page, it is our About page.
I love About pages. They can be so fun.
I do when I'm working with a new business. That's the number one thing I look at.
I want to know everything about you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it depends on the industry and it depends on the service and the offering and all of that, because some are more personal than others. Mm-hmm. But here's your mindset shift too. This page should actually be more about your reader than it is about you, which seems a little weird because it's your About page, right? So your story does really matter, but people want to know who it is behind the business, because what they really want to know is, can this person help me? Do they get me? And can I trust them? That's what your About page is doing. So you need to write it in a way that can help answer those questions. It's still giving them information about you, but it's doing so in a way that's helping answer their pain points of the whole reason why they came here in the first place. Mm-hmm. So treat your About page like this trust building tool, not just a bio. It's going to then, because of that, become a very powerful conversion page. So a good example for this, and I've told this to some of our clients who are actually in this industry too, is probably the end of last year. I was looking for a therapist, and I was out there Googling and doing Psychology Today and trying to find someone who's going to match with me. And I had a few requirements. One, I wanted them to be have their own private practice, because that typically means that they are a business owner. So they are going to understand that aspect of my life. 2, they have to be a mom. I'm not saying that someone who's not a mom couldn't help me, but for me, I needed them to understand my everyday struggles with juggling a business, motherhood, all the things, anxiety, all of it. So those were my requirements. Mm-hmm. I needed them to have experience with anxiety. I needed them to be a mom, and I needed them to own their own business. And so that was how I did my searching. And I can tell you the amount of times I went to About pages and it said nothing about their personal life and only their work credentials. I didn't even reach out to them because I didn't know if they were a mom or if they anything about them, I didn't know anything personal. So that was something that was really important to me, and I'm sure you had a very similar experience too with searching for your acupuncture.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that example up too. When I was going through some fertility struggles and looking for the right acupuncturist for me at that time in my life, she actually did have some of this on her website, so that's how I kind of got to know her story. But she definitely should go into it more. I've told her. I mean, I've worked with her now for almost 3 years, and I've told her, I'm you need to tell your story more, because that's going to resonate with people who want to work with you. Yeah. And the reason that I converted with her is because she told her story, just the tip of the iceberg of it, but she also had multiple miscarriages, which is what I went through too. I had multiple, she had multiple. And so I knew, she knew the pain of having more than one loss back to back. And they were recurrent. So they were back and back. And so I knew that she knew that struggle. And then the other lady, she had never experienced a loss. And again, that's not to say that she couldn't have helped me. But Megan came from a place of completely understanding the pain that I was going through. And so I knew that she was the right one for me because I knew she'd know exactly where I was. So it's really like that storytelling and telling who you are is going to help attract some of those clients that you are wanting.
Yeah. And I think we hold back. We hold back so much about sharing too much of our personal life.
Yes.
And you have to share what you're comfortable with, obviously. But I think being able to share those things that, like, it's the why behind your business, it's why you do what you do, it's who you are, those are selling points. Like, I don't think people realize it that much. We think we're just oversharing, or like we're speaking too much, or we're not being we're being too loud. And we want to focus on them, but actually, like, you are helping me when I know more about you.
Make my decision. Yeah. And like that I want to work with you.
So here's some ways to amp up your about page. So like I just said, lead with your why, not your resume. So share that deeper reason behind your work and who you love to help and why. Show your audience that they're in the right place. So use copy like, does this sound familiar? And are you experiencing this? I've been there. And then kind of just walking through some of those pain points that they might be navigating and resonating with them, that maybe you've walked that journey too, or you have a lot of experience in it. And this is how you bring it through in your work. So introducing yourself like a real human. It's super important to also sprinkle in that personality, those fun facts, relatable quirks. These are things that we definitely want to make sure are incorporated into our brand. We want you to see, yes, we're professional business owners that will help build you something that is very strategic, professional. Like, we have all of that, but we're also fun. We're also going to show up. I mean, I don't normally do this, so I'm not going to say this very often, but we have a client of ours who's also one of my best friends. I literally sent them a video last night at 11 p.m. in my pajamas. Like, I'm not joking. And so that's something where it's like, I mean, I know my audience in that situation.
Yes.
But I'm also totally comfortable to show up like that. And I can't tell you the amount of times where I've met with clients and they're like, yep, I'm going to be with my kids all summer too. And I'm like, me too. Like, solidarity. We're in it together. Let's take some park date calls. And like, that's okay. Like, I want people to see the human side of us.
We're not machines.
Yeah, we're not machines. We're humans. So add in those relatable elements of you and your business and what people can expect, because guess what? That's not going to be for everyone. There's going to be plenty of people out there who are like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you when your kids are in the background. That's fine.
That's
you
okay.
can go work with someone else who
we might not be the best
has more
fit.
consistent care.
Yeah.
But it ain't me. So that is something that can help you, one, attract the right people and repel the wrong ones, which is A-okay. And then continue to include a strong call to action. So you still need a conversion metric on this page. Even though it's your about page, you still need a let's connect, let's chat. It can be more human and relatable, or maybe it's a quiz, or maybe it's a free resource, or maybe it's a link to a blog post. Like, there's still a CTA on this page that's getting them to engage deeper. And then I would say this on every page, like Court said, for the contact page too. Social proof, testimonials, all of that kind of stuff goes a long way whenever you can talk through transformations, even if your own brand, your own life, your own business is that transformation.
Exactly. And the third one that we're going to talk about, which we feel like this page doesn't get hardly any love or thought of. There's usually a lot of confusion or missing info, but that is the final call to action page. So when we say that, that's something like your investment guide or product detail page. This is where your reader really decides if they're in or out when it comes to either working with you from a service-based business or buying your product if you're a product-based business. So many of these pages are rushed, confusing, not really thought through, missing key information that would really help guide your audience to let them know, like, am I in or am I out? So don't think of this page as just the page with the price. It's so much more than that. This is your final pitch. It should really seal the deal with the confidence, clarity, and connection that your user is looking for. So I think we have an amazing investment guide. I love our investment guide because not only does it, like, it's very It introduces them to the page, and then it breaks out these investment pieces into the brand, to SEO, each one that we have. It really breaks down kind of like the nitty gritty of what you're going to get within that package. But then we have a section that we also call how you'll feel after. And we really dive deep into like how you're going to feel after you get done with this project with us. So not only are they seeing like the actual like physical or pieces that they're getting that we're going to be taking them through and that we're going to deliver at the end of this, they're also getting that idea of how they're actually going to feel emotionally, how their business is going to feel after we work with them when it comes to this. So we're showing them these are the things you get, these are the results you're going to get, and how you're going to feel after you work with us with this project. So it's more than just focusing on those actual pieces and focusing on kind of that emotional piece of it as well.
And this page too, like for us, our investment guide page isn't even there for SEO. It's actually hidden from search engines.
It is, yeah.
So this is a page that's truly just there to make that final sale. This is what people see right before they hop on a call with us. And if you're curious what this looks like, or if you're curious what our inquiry process is like, seriously, just go to our contact form, fill out the form. You can even put in there like testing, I'm from the pod, and you'll get our follow-up emails. You'll get a link to our investment guide. You'll get to see the whole process. So please, like, do it.
And this is a page that, like, obviously a lot of people see because they're inquiring with us. So this is the page we always send out when we get a new inquiry. So it is it's a well built out page, and it's a page that a lot of people see, even though it's not open to the masses.
It's not there for where I would say like product pages, it might be natural for you to think through like, okay, yeah, people are adding to cart and buying. So it might be natural for people to think through like, oh, this needs to be written well for SEO. This needs to be written well for all of the things. An investment guide, something like that, where it's not written for SEO, you still need to give it so much love because it's your salesperson, especially for small businesses who don't have a team of salespeople on their team. So
yeah. So ways that you can amp up your final CTA pages. That first one is showing that transformation. So before and afters, social proof, or the product in real life, reiterating those benefits, not just the features. So you're making it about them, not just about you. I can't tell you how many times Abby I know when she searches like, apparel, just like for branding shoots or whatever. I know every time she comes back, because you're a shorter individual. So she's like, I hate it when they don't tell you what size the model is wearing. Even just little things like that on product pages. What size is the model wearing? What is the fabric or what is the material made of?
How tall are they?
How tall are they?
5 feet tall.
Right.
Like, I can't, if someone's a 6 feet tall and the dress goes to their knees, that's going to go to the floor for me.
Right. Right. So it's like details like that you need to think through. Like, you can't just talk about you and what would fit you or what's on the model. You need to like give somebody some sort of an idea of like how it would fit them, or like, would this look good on me? I saw a site the other day that showed multiple different women in different sizes of like, so it was like one woman was shorter, the other woman was taller and a little bigger, like 3 different models. And I was like, that is so smart. And on each thing, it had like what they were, and then listed below it had what it was.
Yeah, that's conversion right there. And I see this all the time too with even like skincare and different things where you list out the ingredients, like this has this essential oil and it's using tallow balm, and it's like that's great, but what does that mean for me?
Exactly.
Like, why is that important? What does that essential oil actually do? What's the benefit of it? So it's not just listing out the details, but it's also describing what it's good for.
Yeah, getting even more into the information on it. Including FAQs. Obviously, everybody is going to have questions about services, about products. So including those really important FAQs or questions that you get often, including those on these pages is so important, because you're going to have people that land on that page and they're like, well, I don't know, like I have this question about this service, or I have this question about this product before I want to purchase or add to cart. If you have an FAQ section on that page that answers that question, then you don't have to worry about losing them. They're going to find that question, they're going to find the answer, and then from there they decide if they purchase the service or the product, whatever it might be.
Yeah, so some of our questions are like, do you offer payment plans? What does a timeline look like? I don't see a package that fits. Do you do things that are custom? Is there a discount if I pay in full? Like, anytime someone asks you a question on an inquiry call, write it down.
And add it to that page.
Yes, because those are amazing questions to add to your FAQs so that they can get those answers. And sometimes this can save you time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly why, like, we put price points right here. We're not going to be like custom proposal coming over to you after the call, because we want you to see right away, can you afford this?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, and if you are dedicated to making that investment, then yeah, let's hop on the phone and chat about it. But some people know right away, like, shoot, I need to save up a little bit more for this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Like, then we're not going to have that 30-minute chat. And there are other times people who are like, I am not ready to make the investment yet, but I still want to chat and make sure this is right for me. And I really appreciate that, because most of the time they're really flexible on when they book their time.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be really nice too, because yes, we absolutely can chat. And then we all know expectation wise, like, this is something for the fall, and we can set expectations of what we have in the queue now and what timelines look like and all of that.
Mm-hmm. The next one is guiding the action and making your buttons feel like a confident yes. So, for example, like on our investment guide, we make sure that we go through as much as we can on just that investment guide. So when they come to the inquiry call and we talk to them, they have as much knowledge as they can. Some people don't look at it prior, and that's totally fine, because that's what the call is for. But we really guide them through what that service is. How, we even have the cost. We have a timeline of when they can expect that process to take. Those things listed out for like kind of the tactical pieces, and then how they're going to feel at the end. So we really guide them through that to show them that it seems like a confident yes. Like, they can really feel confident in making that investment, because they see everything laid out in kind of nice bite-sized chunks for what to expect when working with you. And then obviously the inquiry call, we can get a little bit deeper on that. But if you never get to the inquiry call phase for some reason, at least you did your best within that product page or in that investment guide to really try to get that confident, yes, I want to work with you. I can see the value of everything that you put into your service.
Our most recent add to that page was the how you're going to feel at the end.
Yes.
And that is like so important. It was such a moment where it was like, why did it take us so long to add this to this page?
We
learned
about it at an event last October.
Yeah, and it's so obvious. Like, it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, here is our SEO audit, and here's all the nuggets and the details that are included. Here's what we're going to do for you. But then it's like, how are you going to feel after?
Mm-hmm.
Well, after, you're going to have an optimized website that brings you new leads without having to work harder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want that. Like,
right.
Those are the things that are like no-brainer, where it's like, this is what's going to happen after we work together. So you might not care as much about all of the little bullets and details. You just want to know how you're going to feel afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes the bullets and details can get a little confusing or overwhelming even.
Yes.
And
Especially
sometimes, especially with SEO, sometimes if somebody sees like an SEO package, they might be like, wow, this is a lot, and I feel like I'm just going to be even more confused if like I start to work with you and I don't understand X, Y, and Z about SEO. We don't want them to be thinking about that. We don't want them to see all of these things and be like, I don't understand any of that. This is overwhelming. We want them to know how they're going to feel at the end and what it's going to do to transform their business.
Yeah. So here's how you're going to feel, and then here's a testimonial of someone who feels that way right now.
Yes.
Social proof, right?
Yes. Add that to that page too, because that is the social proof that they need to see that you actually are creditable, you are the expert in this field, and they can see it right there from all of those amazing testimonials.
All right, so we hope that this episode really got you thinking about some of these sleeper pages, because everyone's really obsessed with the homepage, and these 3 pages actually do a whole lot of the heavy lifting behind the scenes. And even if someone lands on your homepage, they are likely the next page that they are going to travel to. So remember that your contact page isn't just a form, it's actually that final first impression. Your about page isn't your bio, it's actually a place that people are going to build trust and connection with you. And that final CTA is your sales team. It's the people that are going to close the deal for you without you having to work twice as hard. So here's your little challenge. I want you to choose one of these pages, give it a little extra love this week, even if it's just one small tweak. Like, jump into it and be like, okay, I'm just going to add FAQs that I had on my inquiry call last week. Or
Beautiful.
I'm going to jump in and I'm going to just add a little detail about who I am personally to my about page, or add a couple new in real life images to give them a sneak peek behind the scenes of what I like to do outside
Or
of
I
work.
just got a screaming testimonial. I need to add this on my contact page or about page.
So something simple. Just do one thing that won't take you too long. And if you want, and if this is something that resonates with you guys too, if you haven't tuned into episode 157, we break down an inside look at our working website days, where we do this about once a quarter, I'd say, to take some deep dives into our website and really make some updates to core key pages like this. So tune into this episode because it'll break down how we structure our website working days, and they're actually one of our most fun days.
They're fun days. You got to make them fun because they're just fun. Yeah. It's fun to be on your website and update things and just to make a day of it.
Close your inbox and have a good time. So,
yes.
All right, friends, you are off.
If you like this episode, please be sure to share it with a friend and subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes dropping every Monday. Plus, if you haven't already, please go ahead and leave us a review and don't hesitate to share any new episode ideas. We absolutely love hearing from you and creating this content for you. See you next week.